Bon dia, buenos días, buongiorno, bonjour, good morning, benvinguts. Bu- Somos 10 aquí, pero cada uno un idioma distinto. A la retransmisión supongo que aún no hay nadie, pero en la grabación que se va a ver después, sí. Michelle, ¿entiendes? Bueno. Voy a hacer un planteamiento. Es que la traductora se ha puesto enferma esta mañana. People translator is enfermo. La Lorena s'ha posat malalta. Vinga. Seu.
That now we are only here 10 people, but we are doing a streaming indirectly. That now maybe people is not connected because we just send the link, but after the day that we present in YouTube, people start to watch it. And he was saying that has to be here a girl that translate all the time, but this morning she called that she was so sick that she threw up and that she couldn't be here. So what he said that he would say it in Spanish or in Catalan, but when it's your turn and you want to talk about your movie, your project, and the margin that you want to do in the future, that because he will talk about what we were talking now, that you can say it in your language. It was in English, in Italian. That don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay. Me traduiràs el que ara explicat. Què és el que vaig explicar ahir, eh? O sigui, ja saps el que hauràs de dir. Ja saps el que hauràs de dir. Jo ara ho dic, però ho dius a la teva manera, eh? Entonces, para todo el público que está detrás de nosotros, en una pantalla de teléfono, en el screening, ¿no? El cine, los cines se están cerrando. Wild People, todo el mundo mira las películas en streaming. Disney estrena en streaming sus películas, no en salas de cine. Cada vez más los estrenos son directos a streaming, no en teatros. En Gerona han cerrado 13 salas.
That he explained it about that we have a big problem that now the cinemas start to close because all the projects goes more fast in streaming in that everyone can say it in the house and at home. And now, for example, a production like Disney put it already before in the streaming that in a cinema, and that it is a bit sad. And that here in Girona already closed. No, one cinema in Girona. Sí. Oh, yeah, here there was like 13 like cinema rooms that already closed since these years. So we will talk about like that.
Too complex, two theaters, but three. Welcome in here. Señor italiano qui, con la señorita italiana. After the close of the theater, of the cinema, no, ya lo diré, sí, no, es mejor que lo diga en español, sí. Después de los cierres de las salas, de los teatros de cine en el mundo, esta nueva forma, la solución es el streaming, ¿no? Y ahora vamos a ver, como cineastas, ¿cómo vemos esto? ¿Cómo nos afecta? Todos preferimos estrenar en teatro, pero no es posible. Vamos directo al streaming. El streaming se ha vuelto, para la economía de los productores, se ha vuelto más importante económico que las salas de cine de estreno. Más importante que cuando el cine estaba con todo su esplendor. Las películas tienen una vida perpetua, larga. que no tenían.
That we was talking about that the cinemas are closed, that the more easy thing for a producer, for a director of cinema, is to put his project in a streaming. And we want to talk about how you affect that, if you agree, if you not agree, what is your thing about that? And I remember. La part final que has dit? Yes, that if we talk about money economically, it's more cheaper to put in a streaming. That if you go in different cinemas, theaters around cities, and that. And he's talking about another thing that when it's in one cinema, it's just maybe like 1 month, 1 month and a half, 2 weeks on a screen. But when it's in a streaming, is a lot more time there, so more people. But is a and he said before that he think that all the directors or the producers prefer to see his project in a screen of a cinema than in a streaming, and he was able to talk about what do you think about that.
El trayecto de una película tradicionalmente era primero ventana, windows, ventana de festivales. Segundo, salas de cine, estreno, reestreno, televisión de pago, después plataformas. Y esta trayectoria daba una vida de 2 años a una película, un recorrido, 2-3 años a una película.
Before, like the way of a movie was first was in a festivals, after was in a cinema, but like a private cinema, after was in a private channels of the television that people pay, and after a public television. But this means that for a project you have like a life of 2 years that you go with this movie to everywhere.
La primera ventana de Windows, Fire Windows, era festivales. Y nadie estrenaba en salas de cine sin haber pasado por la ventana de festivales. El recorrido de festivales puede durar 1 año, ¿no? Pero si no tienes la suerte de entrar en ningún festival, has perdido 1 año, has envejecido la película 1 año.
That before, what we talking about, the first way of a movie was the festivals, and that everyone was like going to festivals before to go to the cinema, and this time of festivals can take you like 1 year. So, but if you don't enter in any festival and you didn't participate in any festival, maybe you lost like 1 year of the life of the movie.
Now, entonces, si los festivales aceptamos las películas si los productores, los cineastas, the filmmaker, aceptan el streaming, entonces dan más velocidad al recorrido de la película, que ahora todo va muy veloz.
That now if the producer, the director, and people that make projects and movies accept to do his project in a festival and in a streaming, the life of this movie goes more fast. Because if you don't project it, it's like you have to wait, but in this way it goes more fast, everything, and you don't lose time.
Italià també. No, però li diré en espanyol, ja m'entendrà. No, hem d'estar així a prop. Aquí no es veu. No, please, ponte que here. I ara el veus? Vale, doncs així és. Ante este planteamiento, ¿capiche? Yes. ¿Cuál es tu postura? Tú has hecho una película, un largometraje, y tu película tiene que ir al cine. ¿Cómo ves el proceso de saltarse la sala de cine presencial como primer evento en un festival?
He asked him that he make a largometrage, Lulu in Turin, say good, and that he say what is his position about that, to go directly in a festival and in a streaming, and not to go like in a cinemas and all this way that we talked about before.
Okay, so I'll speak in English if that's okay.
Okay.
Yep. When I made this film, which is a very, very independent film, I had no real ambitions for any kind of distribution. When I was sending it to festivals, I had the hope that it would be shown, projected in a cinema on screen, because I just feel that way it's as if the film exists. Okay, I realized very, very quickly when I began sending the film to festivals that nowadays the vast majority do either only online or hybrid. I also discovered that when it was hybrid and my film has been selected in a couple of festivals, it always went to streaming. I think I accepted that also because I made it for a very small amount of money using my mobile. So I'd be interested to know what it looks like on the big screen, but I fear maybe it wouldn't really work on the big screen.
So in your case, works good.
But my hope is still one day to see it on the big screen, but I accept that streaming is a way for more people to see it. The only other festival I've been to in person was last month in Texas, in a place called Georgetown.
Okay.
I've realized only festivals with cities whose names begin with a G invite me to their festival. So in the future I have to send it to Glasgow, places like that, Gdansk. And there again, it was streamed during the festival, and it had 1,300 visualizations in 3 days.
Okay.
And about 50 of those was me, because visualizations, that's part of the problem of streaming, because unless there's a system which lets you know if somebody has really watched the whole film, in this case visualizations was somebody who went in, maybe clicked, watched a bit and said, that's not very good, and decided not to watch it, or maybe went back to it as well, which of course is one of the things with streaming. That's maybe another interesting argument, that when you're streaming a film, and I find that doing myself, it's a totally different experience, of course. And I'm not sure what I feel about that experience, because you can start a film, you can pause it, you can go back, all these kinds of things, which of course you can't do in the cinema, which provides a different viewing experience. And just one personal thing, if there's a film like Netflix recently, quite a few films which, important films which haven't made it to the cinema, I've tried to make it a cinematographic experience when I watch those films, like Maestro, the Bradley Cooper film on Leonard Bernstein, which came out last Christmas. I made it one of the days during the Christmas holidays. Okay, I'm going to watch Maestro like I'm at the cinema. So just set it off, watched it. But then other films like the American Scorsese's film, like 4 hours, I made a point of going to see that in the cinema when it came out before it started streaming. So I kind of went off track there.
Yeah.
It was a long answer to a short question. Sorry.
Well, okay.
I can go back.
Thank you. No, seguro, sí. Sí, yeah, tú. La misma pregunta. La misma.
Same.
Yes, good morning. And for me, it's a really gift to be here with these wonderful people and with you, because I feel the warmth, and I feel like everybody here has an a special attention to understand some experimental and ancestralic work as I do in Micelia. So this is my first stuff that I want to say. And about screening in streaming, I think that is good because I'm open-minded about new technology. The world is changing after COVID and during the COVID. So I think that a film has to be watched with a lot of eye. More eye that watch your film, more opportunity you have to be understood as filmmaker. And yes, is something different from the past, of course, but is a chance in a way. And I think that everybody has to be open in this situation. But the most important things for me remain the human aspect that I don't want to lose. As I'm here with you, I'm speaking. This is what a filmmaker, a director, a producer has to do, even in the future, to do network. Because sometimes people are shy or don't open to talk. This, I think, that has to remain. The human table, this round speaking that we do. This is my thought. Thank you.
Please speak. ¿Quién eres tú y tu película?
I'm Alessandra Stefani from Italy. My film is called Micelia, and it's like a dark fairy tale. I start from a realistic way to filming into the wood. It's about Alberto, a mushroom hunter that is very avid to catch mushroom, porcini, that is in our wood in Emilia-Romagna, in Toscana, and so on. And when he walk, he fall in love with a nymph, a very feminine figure, naked body that walk with mask on the skin, and they see each other under the trees. They try to catch them, but they don't. So it's like a follow, wait. And then the man, as all the human being, try to take her home and want to possess her. But after a while, Micelia, what is this name? Micelia means micelio. The micelio is like a spider that is underneath, under the wood, that is something magical that can grow up mushroom under the ground. So Micelia is like the son of the wood, no? And suddenly she escaped from him, and she will come back into the wood under the ground to in this kind of order that nobody can see her. This is the first part of the film, and in the second part you will see like the karma of the nature represented by other three nymphs, and I can say the end, but of course this man will have a strange, how can I say, accident. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to you.
Michelle.
Just that you know, we use the microphone for the camera, for the feeling that you heard good.
Welcome, Michelle. Your presentation after the question of the table.
First you present yourself, and after you answer the question what you did. But what you think about the streaming?
Yes, my name, Benvenidos, and to the right direction.
In the camera. Well.
Gracias. Buenos dias, good morning, and thank you. My name is Michelle Ferguson, and I presented the film Milkweed. It is a short documentary film and very independent. I feel that it is very important for us to be together. The synergy and the emotions and the creativity, mostly the creativity that is birthed from people joining and being together is very important. And I think there are certain films that I watched in the cinema that would not have been the same if I only watched them at home. At the same time, streaming is a wonderful way for us to be able to share with many nations. We might see a film and it to be available for many different people. So I also embrace the new culture that is there, but I think it's also very important that we hold on to our history and our cinemas and make sure those organizations don't, how do I say, like not exist because of, yeah, they don't, I don't want them to disappear at all because they are very valuable. My film was made because I wanted to send a message about the monarch butterflies, and I don't want them to disappear or become extinct. I also don't want the theaters to become extinct. So anyone who watches this film, I wanted to reach out to the gardeners and make sure I made contact in that way, and streaming allowed us to do so.
Okay, and the question of the streaming or theater. Sí, bueno, okay, thank you.
Those.
No.
I think
No, pero in your documentary is well, okay.
Is stream.
No. Porque
This is my good and goal. I present myself, and I am Ivan Miguel. I am co-director and producer of the short film The Untranslatable Forest. That is a 2 minutes and a half short about something also in the disapparition, that are languages. So having been here surrounded by Italian, Catalonian, you have some French even? French, Spanish, having different languages, United States, well, United States too, but English at the end. So having this diversity of languages is really relevant, and it's something that when you see on streaming, you miss, because you put the subtitles, you read the subtitles. At least we can hear it, but normally we mute it, we directly read it. And it's something that we miss, the opportunity with being with other people, that they are saying other things, that they are making your point of view bigger. And when you see on streaming, you miss it. Obviously, it's a kind of an evolution. We are going into that. You were saying the process of what was the life of a movie. And my first job was in a video store, so I could remember when right after cinemas and before movies, there was a 6 months window that was directly for the movies being on the video store, and that obviously has already disappeared. So it's an evolution that we have been living since the beginning of cinema, and we have to adapt it. Also, that would change the language, because at the end, what you can see in a window, and normally a lot of people is watching it in a phone, you have to do closer shots. You cannot. You have to be more on your face, in the meaning that if you cannot do what we were saying, some movies that have a very glorious moment, that it has been a minute of just a camera moving slowly, because if you are watching it in the phone, you change it. You don't have the patience to be watching it. So streaming is the future, but also that is gonna change how we consume the things. And definitely I would want to keep the experiences of having festivals where you can connect with other filmmakers, where you can see the people reacting to your movie because you put it online and maybe you have a like, or you get, this is the amount of viewers, and a comment saying, I like it. But it's not the same that when you have say, and here the people laughs, and you are in the theater and the people laughs, and you say, yes. So that kind of things are, you totally lose them. And originally cinema was a common experience. The streaming people doesn't know it, but right before this, we were in the theater of the history of cinema, and was interesting watching the Edison machine, because a lot of times from the US is the point of view of the Lumiere, but the industry of cinema was created by Edison. And it's like, yeah, but Edison was a minute of movie that would just one person would see through a pinhole. And we are going into that future. The future is Edison's past. That point of view of just one person consuming cinema, and that is not our past, but maybe your future. Me he hablado muchísimo.
No, muy bien, hombre. Bravo. Antonio.
Y María.
No, en español tú.
Y María.
Y María, los dos, sí, venga. Tú, María, aquí.
Pues me vas a tener que traducir.
No, que... Bueno, veremos.
He llegado tarde por el museo.
Claro,
Fantástico.
que te has entusiasmado.
Y solo he visto una planta y media, me he quedado con el resto. Fatal. I am Antonio Rodríguez Cabal, screenwriter, director, and producer of the End of the Sahara, o Fin de Viaje Sahara.
Es de Madrid.
De Madrid. De Madrid. Sorry, my English is very terrible. I'm going to speak Spanish. Sorry.
Okay.
But Maria, traduce. Okay. Bueno, ¿qué?
No, después de la presentación de tu película. Sí, el planteamiento es el siguiente. Creo que te lo conté anoche. Hay las ventanas de cine, primero el país, primero los festivales, primero el país, salas de estreno, y en los streamings acaba, ¿no? Entonces, ¿cómo ves este procedimiento que eran 3 años, que ahora todo va muy veloz y puedes perder 1 año intentando festivales y a lo mejor no encuentras ninguno, o a lo mejor encuentras alguno, ¿no? Pero estás perdiendo 1 año y estás envejeciendo la película. Entonces, ¿cómo ves esto? ¿Cómo ha cambiado? ¿Cómo hay que aceptar el streaming incluso en los festivales?
Bueno, yo después de hacer una película, rehacer toda una película después de 41 años, pues 1 año más me da igual. Vale.
Yes. Do you understand, or is it necessary translation? Maybe
No.
yes. Okay. He said that in our movie, I'm the producer, by the way, and our movie he rolled 4 years ago, so 1 year more doesn't matter, because he asked about what happened with the movie. 1 year will be old, the movie, so we have to take the moment, and 1 year for a movie, maybe it's old movie. So that's why, but my dad, our movie is 40 years ago, so 1 year more, it's not a problem at all.
Okay. Sobre las ventanas, pues no sabría realmente, evidentemente antes eran muchísimo más largos, ¿no? Y se va cortando. Cada vez hay más películas, cada vez hay más producto y todo va vertiginoso. ¿Dónde llegará esto? No lo sé, la verdad es que no lo sé. ¿Que es bonito el tema? A mí no me gusta, ¿sabes? Me gusta que se vea la película en cine, todo más sosegado, todo ahora es nervios y moverte en todos los sitios rápidamente para ver qué puedes hacer, ¿no? Entonces, yo lo que siento sobre todo es que los cines... Que tengo la esperanza que no desaparezcan, tengo la absoluta esperanza, porque las películas solo te integras y te metes en la película si estás en un cine. Si te montas en tu casa una megalocine, es posible, pero eso es asequible solo a unos pocos. Traduce porque si
Yeah,
no...
so we are now in a very competitive market with many movies, so it's necessary to have the streaming in order to reach the people. But it's very important not lose the cinema experience because, for example, in our movie, Sahara and Top Trip, it's all about the photography. So the experience when you go to the cinema, it's very different. So we hopefully think that we are not going to lose that all, but maybe we are on that way, actually.
En cualquier caso, yo me tomo las cosas a mi manera. Tengo la película, voy a los festivales, que eso sí, porque muchos te limitan el tiempo, pero ni he contactado con las televisiones, ni he contactado con las plataformas y voy a mi paso. Que me equivoque, seguramente, pero eso hago.
He's talking like we are going in our own without distributor. We have an international distributor actually. He's selling around the world, but yeah, we are doing everything by our own with the TVs, with the the platforms and cinemas and everything.
Vengo del museo maravilloso que tenéis aquí, maravilloso, ¿no? Me he quedado alucinado, maravilloso museo, ¿no? Y cuando vas viendo todo ese proceso de hace un siglo y medio, el cine, pero 3 siglos realmente el mundo de la fotografía o los inicios, ¿no? Ves cómo todo es imaginación para hacer las cosas más rápidas, las placas más rápidas, todo para hacerlo más rápido, y parece que hemos cogido esa velocidad y ahora vamos todos a hacerlo todo casi en un instante. Y dentro de poco, en un mes, tienes que irte a los festivales, a poner la película, que te la pondrán, si tienes suerte, muy poquitos, en los cines, y luego el futuro pues será las plataformas. Es que es la realidad. Es una pena, y yo sigo pensando que, bueno, mis hijos, María y yo, nos vamos todas las semanas al cine, o sea, siempre vamos al cine y es donde disfrutamos la película. Y luego sí, ves cine en streaming y eso, pero es que no es lo mismo.
Yeah, so the message here is like the process to make movies, to make cinema, before was very slow, everything, and step by step, and now everything is very fast. You have AI, you have many tools that is also fine, but always it's very, very, very fast, and I think that you lose something in the process. But it's where we are, so we have to adapt it, and this is it. So, yeah.
¿Te vale?
Me vale.
Gracias.
¿Ya me queda? Ah, okay.
Muy bien, Antonio, very well. Por favor. Primero te presenta
Yes. Yes.
and your film.
Okay.
And after the presentation of the windows and the trajectory of the windows, the film, the promotion, the film. Five windows, the festival, second
And
window.
nothing about online, also like cinema streaming. Yeah.
Streaming. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The question is the streaming
Okay.
of theater.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Hello. My name is Uwe Schwarzwalder. I'm from Zurich, Switzerland. I'm here with my film, The Spiritualization of Jeff Boyd. Muchas gracias por aceptar y aquí.
Merci.
Maravilloso. De rien. And I think we were talking about theater, cinema release, and streaming. I mean, people go for thousands of years, leave their home and go to a theater. They go to the opera, they go to the cinema, to the theater, and this is it has to be like this. It would be terrible that they wouldn't leave their home to watch a film, especially for a film like Sahara, as seen yesterday with the wonderful pictures. You have to see it actually in the theater. So theater is very important to keep it up and not forget about it. And with regards to my film, of course, I want to have it in a theater. I'm fighting long. I'm still fighting to have it seen in the theater because, you know, it's that's that's where it is actually. And but I'm still and now I'm doing the festival run, and I hope it's you find a distributor who picks it up. And I have another film they picked up a distributor, but there's so many films on the market, so you've got to be lucky. It has to be a good quality, and so it's a fight. Yeah, but I like it, and it's a good point thinking about the timing of a film, so it doesn't get old, right? So you have to keep always be busy at the point and move forward. So I hope now we just started with the spiritualization of Jeff Boyd, which we shot actually in Switzerland, in Bulgaria, and in India. So I think it's very interesting, but I'm curious how it's going to be picked up by distributors. The genre is also very difficult or important for the distributors because they actually like horror films, as first choice and all these things. And so we'll see. It's a good start here with this nomination here and for the film. And muchas gracias again. And yeah, that's.
It's your first festival? This is your first festival?
With this film?
Yeah, with this film.
Yes. Yes, but we have already nominations in India too, so they're going to screen it there, and we'll see how it works out.
Sí, bueno, básicamente que es un mercado muy competitivo, que es una lucha poder conseguir este espacio y distribuidoras que te puedan llevar y que están en este proceso, ¿no? De un poco conseguir ese espacio para poder llegar con su película.
Okay. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Plaisir.
Oui. Ara tu sí.
I will give my point of view as consumer.
També presenta't igual.
Okay, my name is Albert. I love cinema. I love photography. I think it's a privilege to be surrounded by professionals, filmmakers. Then I will try to give my point of view of the different windows you have for the promotion of the films. Because, well, things have changed. Consumers have changed. We have no time for anything, but we have the whole time for the mobile. We have time for streaming. Then it's a pity you don't have festivals like Girona or Sitges or every festival, because it's an opportunity for the professionals and people like me to be surrounded and to do contacts, to promote, and to mix your ideas, to cook something new. Because maybe nowadays, especially in Europe, I think it's very important to look for more economy, more money for your projects. And if you mix different producers of different countries, you have more opportunities. And festivals, it's a place where you can find that, and then the quality for the consumer is higher. The other way around, streaming, I think it's producing pre-made and pre-cooked films. I think we are losing a lot of this feeling that when you're seeing a film in a theater. A theater, you have a feeling that you are just in the film. At home, you have to wait that everybody is sleeping, all your family is sleeping, to watch the film like in the cinema, not like similar. It's just some people could do that because they have the media to see like with the audio, with a big screen. But I think it's a big pity. But right now, I think the consumer is changing, but the festivals will not get lost, I think. And in 1 year, depending on the film, yes, I think it could be a little bit older because things are changing very fast. But for a film that it's made in Sahara, I think it will be it's probably the same because the quality, the photography, the expectation, if you're watching that in a big screen, it will not change it. I think it's much better than look it at home in a small screen, no sound, not much sound. That's different. And I hope, well, we have no other option than to adapt to the streaming and to have, there are different kinds of streaming because Netflix is one thing. In Spain, we have filming that for the passionate for films, it's very nice because you can see short films. Short films, I think it's the starting for the filmmakers, and not much people talk about that. Because people is trying to explain their feelings, their very inside feelings through the guts, no? Then, for example, you were looking to save your butterflies. Okay, that's a feeling that you want to share with the whole world. That's our opportunity to speak in the film. And when you see that in a big theater, you feel it. You have this transmission from the director and all the team that is working with him on that screen. But we are losing it. But the market's like that. Cinemas are closing in Girona, 15, no more or less, 15 screens. In Girona, 13. It's a big amount. Then there will be no much opportunities to share that feeling of you in the same way. Then we have to adapt to the small screen of the television. No? Then here we are.
Moltes gràcies. Tu ets català, que sí? Però parles molt bé l'anglès, Sí. Sí. No, tu quiet aquí. Tu ja no marxes d'aquí. Després del títol que em vaig donar ahir. Sí, thank you. Àlex, tenim alguna pregunta a la xarxa? Vale, ok. Vols fer una síntesi petita o no cal? Petita en español.
Sí, bueno, yo creo que hemos hablado todos más o menos del mismo punto de vista. Nos tenemos que adaptar. Estamos en el mundo de las plataformas y están ahí, pero no debemos dejar perder la sensación del cine, porque realmente cuando vas al cine es la experiencia, ¿no? Y un poco así a nivel resumen todo lo que has dicho, y yo creo que todos pensamos igual. Quería añadir también un punto, y creo que también hay una parte de educación en los colegios donde si no se promueve la cultura de cine, se pierde, porque la gente al final vamos a los formatos cortos, reels, 15 seconds all the time, like doing like this, and we lose, to go inside the movie and inside a history. So vamos muy al contenido rápido. Y si esto no se educa en los coles, se va a perder. Ese es también mi punto de vista.
Bueno, el Festival de Cine de Girona hemos proyectado en esta pantalla, pero también hemos proyectado en cines de verdad, pero solo 2 películas, la de Antonio y la de Leví. Pero no lo proyectamos en Girona, lo proyectamos en Barcelona. No hay cines en Girona, no hay cines. No hay cines en Girona, no lo hay. Tenemos esto. Están en las afueras sí que hay 2 complejos, pero que no están en la ciudad. Y en Barcelona fue en los cines Girona, que están en Barcelona.
Yeah, we screened 2 movies, my dance movies and Levi, right? In Barcelona, in a theater there, because here in Girona they don't have theaters here, so it's so sad.
Tú ahora haces una presentación tuya de dónde eres, si vienes de España o de Estados Unidos o de Barcelona, y de la película y tu presentación en Barcelona.
¿Lo hago en inglés o en español?
En inglés.
Well, my name is Levi Starr. I just presented a movie called The Three Sides of the Mirror in Barcelona. And as they said, it was in Barcelona because there were no screens here in Girona. And the movie is about a treasure hidden in the park, wherein somebody finds $1 million bag, and they try to do some things with that. ¿Y qué más tenía que decir?
La cuestión que estamos debatiendo es sobre la trayectoria de las películas, la primera trayectoria de festivales, que puedes perder un año, y las otras, estreno, el preestreno, las televisiones, pero que esto ahora ha cambiado y se ha comprimido. Disney ya va directo a su plataforma, por ejemplo.
And as well, he was saying in Spanish, the times are changing. People is watching movies on the phones, and as he said before, our due to our art, our passion, and our feelings about this movie that we made. In this case, it took us 7 years to make this movie. We decided that we didn't want to go into the festival circuit, which is, it takes like 2 years. We just decided to jump on the road like a rock and roll band and project our movie city by city to meet the people there and have the real deal, the experience of showing it in the big screen and talking with the audience and having the feeling with them. And this is our choice because as I said, times are changing, so if you want your movie to be seen, you have to invent, you have to try new things. That's why we decided to do this thing. And after this, maybe we will start talking with the TV platforms and negotiate the possibilities of showing our movie there worldwide. But we are not going to stop showing our movie in movie theaters ever. I mean, this is not going to change. This is not going to stop, because if it took 7 years to make this and to leave this legacy, we are going to put our hearts to give it all to make it seen by the audience in the big screen.
Okay. Continuaremos con el señor de Torino. Thank you.
Your turn.
Sí, yes.
Oh.
Tu presentación y tu película.
Okay. It's a bit difficult to describe my film, but I'd like to connect it to something you've been saying. So there are no cinemas left in Girona. Did I understand 13?
Yeah, not
there were,
in
but
here.
they closed down.
¿A qué distancia está el cine más cerca de Girona?
Bueno, puede ser
Plan 15 minutos.
A pie pueden ser media hora a pie.
30 minutes by walk.
Yeah.
30 minutes,
Yes.
but not in the center, you know.
Yeah, yesterday evening, I arrived in Girona yesterday evening, and when I actually took the wrong direction to get to the bistro, and I turned a corner, and there was this big cinema near the hotel, big sign, 3D, but it was obviously closed and has been closed for a long time. It's
It was where the movie festival was done the other year.
yeah.
But that movie theater has been occupied. They prefer it to be closed and occupied by people smoking and doing silly things instead of having movies. Estoy diciendo que han preferido que el cine esté ocupado a que...
Ah, sí, y una plantación de marihuana dentro.
You can't make marijuana online, so but anyway, my film, it's kind of semi-autobiographical. It's about the dream of making a film, and it's about cinema. I love cinema history. The museum was great. We have also a pretty famous cinema museum in Turin as well, in quite an incredible building, and that appears in the film. In the film, there are also some of Turin's cinemas. It has still a lot of beautiful cinemas, but a lot of cinemas which I've frequented over my 35 years now in Turin have closed down. So in the film, there's one of those which I film with the poster of my film covered by the ivy, which is now covering the front of the cinema. But then I actually go inside. They allowed me, of course. I asked if they would. One of the oldest cinemas. It opened in 1903, the Cinema Ambrosio, and it's actually opposite this cinema was where the Lumiere brothers first projected a film in Turin. And the Ambrosio, beautiful. It's Liberty style, which is the Italian version of Art Nouveau, Art Deco, Art Nouveau. However, just before the summer, that cinema closed. They are supposedly doing work to reopen it. It has this beautiful Art Deco entrance, which is in my film, but that's kind of now, it becomes a historical relic because the Art Deco original entrance has become a Kentucky Fried Chicken. So instead of the beautiful name of the cinema, we have KFC. But apparently that was the only way they could save the cinema, getting the money for Kentucky Fried Chicken to open there and reopening the cinema one door down. It's going to retain some of its, obviously the inside of the cinema is very beautiful. It will retain that, I hope. But so yeah, my film talks about film, cinema, the importance of cinemas, and it talks about lots of other things as well, but that would take a long time. I think it's easier to watch if you can. So it's streaming at the moment, so Lulu and Turin. Okay.
Here.
You mentioned, sorry, one quick question. You mentioned yesterday that it's about you, right? Yeah. It's about you. Right, interesting. I really want to say it.
Podría hacer una traducción al español un poco para el streaming, pero...
Vale.
Sí, vale, sí, hazlo. No, hazlo, un resumen de...
Bueno, ha contado muchas cosas. Ha hablado sobre un poco lo mismo, ¿no? El cine donde él proyectó por primera vez, que fue uno de los cines como más antiguos, incluso, ¿no? En los Lumière.
Sí, primero, sí.
Pues...
las primeras películas.
De las primeras películas, cerró y es un Kentucky, ¿no? Ahora Kentucky Fried Chicken, ¿sabes? Una cadena. Y lamentablemente así vamos, ¿no? Teatros que además son preciosos, increíbles, bonitos, pues se terminan cerrando y terminan siendo algo pues absolutamente comercial, que es lo que al final se apoya. Y que su peli trata sobre el sueño, ¿cómo es? And you repeat, how do you explain in a sentence your movie is about? In a dream? Is a dream of a dream?
It's a film within a film within a film. It has a kind of Chinese box structure, so it's my dream of making a film. It's the search, because when I decided to make this film, I needed an actress. It's the search for the actress. There's also a portrait, and it's the search for the girl in the portrait. And it all comes together in the end.
Es el sueño al final de él haciendo una película.
Preguntamos ahora si hay algún tema, alguien que quiera aportar algo nuevo. Okay.
If someone wants to add something different or another opinion.
Yeah, I was hearing and I was remembering, I forgot to say this or that point. And for example, you were talking about short films. When we are talking about short films, people doesn't want to watch short films. Almost festivals is the only space that there is available to be watching short films. If festivals disappear, short films as a medium disappears. What is very strange, because for me it's the equivalent in literature to writing short stories, not because literature goes around, short stories disappear. And you can buy books that they are about short stories, but it's really hard to find in streaming the opportunity to see short films unless it's Wes Anderson the one doing it, or is a big name the one doing it. As you were saying, is the way to discover new filmmakers, but even you see great filmmakers going to, because it's a different language, allows you to create a different kind of a story. And that is just through festivals right now, the way to can be seen, this kind of formats. And later on, maybe on TV, you see, the selection of this festival, we are going to watch it tonight. If the festivals don't make that selection, definitely short films are the first ones that they don't have that. I think that also that festivals, something that creates is curation, at least my experience, and I am sure that is of a lot of people. At night, you are with your partner, and it's like, what do we watch today? Oh no, this one, no, today is not edit. And at the end, you spend 45 minutes deciding what movie you are gonna watch, and for the end, you don't watch it. And a lot of times, having a curator, having a platform that tells you, yeah, we have these 30 movies, we have 16 movies, they are gonna be just for 15 days, allows you to have the immediacy to, okay, We have 10 movies, we have 10 days, tonight we see this one or that one, but sometimes having too many options is bad. And when we are watching about theaters dying, is also an explanation, because cinema by itself until some point is not dying, but it's in a close experience. The new generations watch more YouTubers than watch movies. A video game is a bigger industry, way bigger industry than is cinema industry. So until some point is something that the theater is, cinema is gonna be like the 20th century thing, in the same way that opera was the 90th, 80th, I don't know as much about opera, but it's not gonna disappear, but it's gonna stay like an old experience, or from time to time will appear something like a musical that is gonna be able to adapt it, and maybe the kind of thing like a theater or a circus kind of experience where people goes around, it will make the things easier. But cinema definitely is winding down, is going too small, and maybe that's also why some of the stories that we have in this festival are about things that they are disappearing, like our butterflies or our languages, because it's related to that. It's a pity. I don't think that audiovisual will disappear, because we are audiovisual people. We consume images and sounds, but maybe there are already experiences on video games of having a theater to be watching short films or be watching movies inside of a video game to get a way to promote it for kids. So, all that.
Okay.
See, I just want to make a point about that you said. This is happening to arts, not just movies. It's happening to music. The only way to save this passion, this thing that we love, we have the key in our hands. If you like movies, go to see movies. Because some of us, most of us, we just take care about our movie and don't care about the rest of them. So if we don't understand that the key is in our hands, if we don't go to see the other movies, or we don't take them as rivals, oh, my movie is better than that one, I'm not going to talk about that one, we are about to disappear. So if you like music, go to concerts. If you like movies, talk about movies. But not because of business, not business-wise, with passion. For example, yesterday we saw Sahara movie in this. That movie it has a craft. It's artisan. It's beautiful. And from my point of view, what I'm going to do is talking about the movie. It was beautiful. It has to be seen. And my task as a filmmaker is go see that movie. Take care about that movie, not Avengers or Warner movies, because everybody knows about that. Take care about independent films. If you see a short movie that is beautiful, talk about it. Promote it yourself. That's the only way. If we don't do that, we are fucked. So,
but also to that is complicated when the distribution, there is not a distribution to that. If I have seen a short film that later on I cannot say to someone, oh, watch this, and it's like, where? Oh, it was in a festival I went to. If you weren't in that festival, you cannot watch it.
Yeah, but there is a little point to that. So I think the same as you, but if you see them promoting it in Instagram or Facebook, you can show some interest in that. Ask them, because all of us have private links where you can find it. How I ended up with this idea, it is funny, because I'm a musician and my world disappeared. And I was thinking, wow, this is annoying. Nobody comes to concerts anymore unless you are U2. But but I saw a documentary called Sound City by this guy, Dave Grohl, from a band called Foo Fighters. This guy is very famous. He doesn't need anything. He's a millionaire. He plays concerts in stadiums. And he was talking about that. If we musicians don't take care about musicians, it's going to disappear. So this guy, every time he goes to a city or a country, he picks local bands and he shows them to the big audience. That's what I think we all in our possibilities, because it's not the same you, me, Almodovar, or whatever to do that. If Almodovar picks new people, or Amenábar, or whatever, or him or me, to the smaller than, to the small, sorry. So if we all do that with the people behind us, it's gonna be good for everybody. I mean,
because there are many movies, a lot of information, and it's difficult to, you know, in a world with a lot of content, how do you promote, you know? It's very difficult. I think that is out of our hands. It's more like the government, and, you know, we need that they support us, you know?
Of course, but it's easy to say, it's impossible. I mean, I'm in the same position as you. But if we, the interested ones, the ones what we are in the world, don't care about it, or we say, well, it's impossible, the audience is not going to do that for us. So of course you can talk about the 100 films you saw in a year, but if you watch my movie,
I promote it.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm pretty sure that you're gonna like it, talk about it, as I'm going to talk about Sahara or whichever, or milkweed or whatever, you know? That's the only, I think, well, that's my conclusion. That's what I just learned, that if we don't do that, it's gonna happen like rock and roll music. It's gone. Who cares about rock and roll? Nobody. The newer generations, yeah, I know you do, honey. But in me too, it's my life. But I'm pretty aware that if we don't do it in the small capabilities, I'm a very shy person. I'm talking with again with a lot of public, but I don't talk very much. I don't like social media, but sometimes, from time to time, if I do it with one person, that's a little task. That's a little step further, and that's what we need to do.
Sorry, if someone else also wants to say, it's just because I have reactions and nothing against, but to add. And if someone else has, please, I don't want to be Bogart. I love that word, Bogart, just to be whole. The thing that Bogart, because in the way that he was smoking, we have a verb in English just to say when you possess something. It's true, but if rock and rollers would be promoting rock and rollers, we would be in the same situation. At the end, I think that it's relevant that we promote everyone's films, but also having the spaces and understanding the distributors, the needs and ways to arrive there. As a new parent, I don't have ways to go to a theater with a kid that is crying all the time. Films and movies have to find a way around that. Theaters are disappearing. At the same time, we have said the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sony in the United States has by Alamo Films that they are all built around doing an experience around the movie. They put the movie and they give food around it. I have heard that here in Spain they tried and didn't work. That experience didn't work. The difference, by what I have been asking, is that there was generic food that you could ask, and in the Alamo they would prepare food according to the movie. I watched Parasite eating a bulgogi pizza, so I relate both experiences together. So I think that it's true. We have to find a way to involve around the experience, but it's not just on the artists or just in the consumers to do it. It's also on the distributors in a way to find it. And what a lot of people say is it's easier streaming because you are paying $5 for having, or €5 or €9 for having a month, instead of paying $20 if you are you $60 or 60 euros for the whole family to watching a movie, what makes very unavailable to a family to go to enjoy a movie in the theater.
We are talking so much. These people is not talking at all.
Everybody, thank you. Everybody is talking about film, me the first, but I think we have to talk about money. Because promotion, short films, films are financed by especially institutions. And when
not mine.
Sorry?
Not mine.
Maybe not yours, but in some cases, ICA, ICEA are very important to give that push to your film, no? But I think what we miss as consumer, it's the promotion, the marketing. What kind of tools are you using to promote your films to arrive to everybody? Because those films, I cannot be in the festival all the week. And I'll try to look for these films in filming. But what are you doing to arrive to people like me that are interested in cinema?
You're going to enjoy my idea. For example, what I did to make the people know about my movie. My movie is about $1 million bag in a park, right? I started a campaign in Instagram saying that I was going to hide an envelope with 200 euros in that envelope. People care about that money. People wanted to discover where the money was. So they started the bus. And for example, here in Barcelona, there was this website called Barcelona Secreta. They put that spot in their website, and all of a sudden, 100 million people were talking about my movie. Hello, Warner, 100 million people. You know, so you have to invent new things. I agree totally with what you said, that we need help, but in the end, we are talking about philosophy. Why are you doing this? Because of money? Because you want to do it? Because you need help to do something? I do it because I need it. So I don't care if I'm gonna get help or not. I'm gonna do it whatever. Of course, I need ICA, and I think there are plenty of shitty films out there financed that are bullshit, made to some dear friends of the institutions. But in the end, we are talking about passion, so you have to invent new things. First of all, what I learned is that, from my experience in a rock and roll band, if I had a great song, I have to convince my friends to listen to it. If they don't even fucking care about my music, how is somebody who doesn't know me going to take care about it? So you have to put all your ideas, all your means to make that happen. So that's why I say we have to invent new things. But
let me say something here, because maybe you were very lucky to have this in Barcelona Secreta. I know that Instagram is pretty huge, but I think that you need a lot of money and invest a lot of money to promote in social media. You need a good community manager, and you have to pay it. Maybe the owner of Barcelona Secreta likes your movie and said, okay, I'm going to put, but it's not normal actually. I think that you need a lot of money in general in order to promote your movie, and it's very difficult because, okay, Netflix, they have a lot of money, so their movies always in the first stage, you know? So that's it, and for the independent movies, very difficult.
Yeah, I know. And I said before, I totally agree with you, but what are you going to do? Are you going to be seated at home crying?
No.
Nobody watches my film. Oh, unless I have 1 million euros to compete with Almodovar. Fuck Almodovar. I love you, Almodovar. But I mean, of course, the big ones have those means. We don't have them. We have to invent something. That's why I made this. And of course, in Barcelona, I was very lucky with that. In other cities, I wasn't lucky, and we had less people. But as I said before, at least for me, I'm not going to stop doing this. And I'm going to be a pain in the ass saying, watch my film, watch my film, watch my film, watch my film. So, but I don't want to be this idiot talking all the time, because these guys, I haven't heard them. So, sorry. Go ahead, please.
No, thank you. It's fine. No, I like it here. It's comfortable. So my job is actually, I work with Alessandra, and my job is to help with of course, production, but also the marketing of part of our creative hub that we have in our city in Italy. And I understand totally what you're saying, and I come from a generation that's probably, I can say, a bit younger than yours, but I live with social media, and I think that your way to promote a movie is a genius marketing idea. And nowadays, people go to the cinemas only if they feel like they're part of a group or part of something bigger than the film. So, like the Avengers, just a stupid example, but people feel like they're superheroes when they go together and watch the films with their friends. And I feel like if you want to promote an independent film, you, as an artist, now kind of are forced to think of a way that other people are interested in your art. If before you could make it and not give a single care of what people would think, now you have to, unless you lose everything. Like, you say, I'm losing a little bit of art in the marketing, but that's the only way that you can actually keep doing it. So you have to force yourself into that part, which is very hard, I agree, and it needs a lot of money, and I agree. But it's kind of I think the best way for survival. And if before in the past, a movie had the cinema screening, and then if you wanted to buy it, you can only buy the cassette, and you cannot buy it anything else. The streaming platforms now give you the push to make your movie forever. So it's a positive thing, but you always have to market it and try to find a way to create that feeling of, I need to feel part of it, because everything is basically consumerism. So we just want to feel like we're part of something now, and it's like almost we're brainwashed to be like in this position, and unless all the society changes, which is impossible, we have to change as distributors and like independent artists. And I agree that it's difficult, and I feel that that's why we're all here, try to promote it and try to find our way to learn from each other to make it work for us in the future.
Yes, good. I agree with him. I try to speak English. I'm sorry for my English. For me, another important point, yes, is a pity. I'm not happy of this, but is the realistic way now, the realistic photography of this moment is, for me, from my point of view, that there are more offer than the request. When Bertolucci, Antonioni start, because we had the chance to speak last year with like 2 words with Francis Ford Coppola in Milan Forum, when he showed to the public Megalopolis. And he said the time is changing. Before there was care about filmmaker, Antonioni, Bertolucci, the network, and so on, the stuff that you said before, no? Nowadays it's full of people that make art, independent film, independent art, music, everything. When I started in 2018, I was artistic director in a ceramic tiles company, so different market. I start by passion, only move by passion, because I wanted to create something for me to be happy. When I was on the bed and sleeping, I forgive the past. I'm very lucky, of course, I can put money in this hub that Leonardo said, but I have to fight every day. And he knows that when I did these 3 films, The Arch, La Moda Delicia, and Micelia, I was alone. Nobody in Italy helped me, okay? The more you are independent, the more maybe you put money, the more Italian people look at you like this, no? So I fight, and I finally find Rafael Marin, that is a Mexican agent, that trying to help me with Micelia. now I'm here in Girona and I'm lucky and happy. Maybe tomorrow I go in Calcutta to Kolkata Film Festival. So the most important thing is to maintain relation, to speak for us, but for our passion, and to how can I say it, to not forget that the offer is more of the request that the market want. So that's the why Netflix, Amazon, Apple, they grow a lot of platform, because a lot of film has to go out. So we have in some way to make peace with this, and yes.
You need to pick the battles. You have to know what is your audience, what is your target. It's very important. Pick the battles and not be competitive with a Netflix movie, for example. So I think that in the strategy in social media, everything you have to understand very good where or when or who you want to impact. For example, I talk with my dad many times about our movie. It's not a commercial movie. It's not for everyone. My friends, because they usually see, I don't know, Tres Metros sobre el Cielo, and this kind of movies, and then put 2 hours of landscapes, incredible landscapes, and my friends is like, oh my God, it's very hard to see. So we need to understand very well who is our audience in that point.
The public, yeah.
The Marx Brothers movie.
Okay. I wanted to say, since I have been here with all of you, I wrote a song. I had no idea that so many musicians would come to the festival, but musicians, painters, artists come to the festivals, and it's very important. And the synergy that is birthed from us all being together is amazing. That song never exists if not for this city. So I think it's very important to keep the festivals. I also have many, many songs, and I cannot let them out because I wrote them for movies. And if I write the song for movie, I can't put it in commercial because, it's for the movie. It's for a movie someday. So I think it's very important to if the scouts are put back out, if the scouts start coming to the festivals again, yes, it's good to get 1 million clicks on social media. We'll embrace that. We're gonna, stream, but also we need to hold on to the cinemas and keep that energy alive as well. And and one of the ways we can do so is if the scouts go to the festivals again. And then maybe the people will come, the artists will come out, because they know the scouts are gonna be there. And like she was saying, it's very difficult for the financing. We have many, many films, but we can't make them because we don't have the funds to make them, so we're making what we can make. And if the scouts come, maybe they'll find the talent, and then we'll be able to connect to someone who will make what we want to make and connect with someone who will highlight that, and then there will be a lot more art naturally birthed and beautiful.
Yes, but unfortunately nowadays you have to run for your success, for your own, by your own. It's very sad, this, but nowadays everything is fast. And in the past, someone go inside the film festival, make network with director, with filmmaker, and discover new talent. Nowadays, it's completely different. I think that we have to fight alone and to do what you can with your art and with your finance and with your energy. It's sad, but this is, for me, is the reality.
Yeah, that's why you said, for me, the most important phrase in this day, which is, why are you doing this? Because I wanted to go to bed and feel fulfilled. because he had a dream of making a movie, and now he has the movie. He has it done. That's the prize. Not becoming famous. Of course, we all want our things to be seen by 1 million people, but you have, as I said before, the most important thing is to realize why are you doing this. And if you do it for yourself, like this man working 40 years to make a movie sing, it's because you need it, because of yourself, first of all. If you don't do it for yourself, or if you don't get if you don't get fulfilled yourself for doing it, you are lost. You have nothing.
In this way, also, I answer part of what you were saying of why the movie, and also what you were saying of promoting. And also, I have realized, and that's why I have asked this, that I haven't talked about my co-director, Andy Camus, because this. YouTube tiene subtítulos. Hace automáticos mejor que de español a inglés. ¿Yo en castellano y tú en inglés o como?
Lo que quieras.
My co-director, Andy Camus, originally this wasn't a movie, or even a short, what we did. It was he and me saying, we want to work together. And we started doing something, and originally we had an idea, and we said, that is going to take so long, let's make something smaller. And we decided to talk about languages, and suddenly we spent 2 years and a half in production doing a 2 minutes and a half short movie. Because it's in animation, it's in 3D, we did it spending our own time, not having things. When it was finished, there was the moment where I said, I think that the message is too relevant to just post it on social media. Nobody's gonna care, and it's gonna be watched by 100 people. That's nothing. And it's in social media, anybody could watch it. So I consider let's go bigger and let's try to make something more. I contacted Kronos Quartet, or Short has the music of Kronos Quartet, because I reached them out. We had already the short image, so they could see how it looked. They allow us to use music from their immense background of 50 years. To Canada, having music of Kronos Quartet, I think that also promoted or helped to promote later on festivals. Hey, this short has the music of Kronos Quartet, the ones that you can hear in Requiem for a Dream. And later on, presenting to festivals. This is making that a lot of people, definitely way more people that before would have seen the short, now it's like, hey, where I can see the short? And maybe later on, when initially we are not planning that any TV, any platform, Netflix, if you want to put it, I don't know what Kronos Quartet, according to the contract, allow us to put it on Netflix. But the idea is that when we put it in half year on social media, more people is going to be interested in watching it, because it's going to come with Girona Film Festival, Manchester Animation Festival, San Francisco Documentary Festival. At the end, festivals also help or even to Vimeo. Vimeo, that maybe it's not as much for audience as is for filmmakers. One of the parameters that they have to make a Filmeo pick is that you come with saying, I have been in these festivals. I have the pedigree of having been in this festival, so now you can consider if you want to add the pedigree of being a Vimeo pick to it, but obviously adds to a lot of more people watching it. But answering in shortly, I am doing this because I believe in the message. Definitely, I have spent, when I say self-produced, I mean I have paid it from my pocket. From presenting to all the festivals, to paying the sound mix in Argentina, and everything is going to be to benefit zero. Even if the short makes any benefit, is going to go to a fund for languages, for defense of the endangered languages. So even if it would make any benefit, it would be for it would be direct to to an endangered language foundation. So zero profit, zero interest for me is the thing of A, watching something that we have done in a cinema. B, the message is so relevant, the thing that, I'm going to spoil it, that it's supposed that in 50 years, 90% of the languages are going to disappear. Not English, not Spanish, not Italian, but there are a lot of native languages that they are dying, and we don't care. We don't care about ecology, but about languages, it's not even in our language. And answering in why I wanted to make this short, and the thing that definitely all of us, we feel passionate, otherwise we wouldn't be doing these shorts. But definitely, if at the end of the day I have spent a lot of, or we have spent a lot of our own money in doing a short and there is zero benefit, we will continue doing it, but it's going to take us 6 years in making the next one instead of just finishing and jumping to the next one.
No, bueno, no, voy a hacer un super long story short, pero básicamente tú te lo cocinas, tú te lo comes. Si crees en el mensaje, por mucho que no tienes que esperar incluso que no haya beneficios, porque él mismo lo dice, no lo ha hecho ni por el profit ni por nada, simplemente porque cree en el mensaje, y al final es un altavoz, ¿no? A donde llegues, pues estás formando, enseñando a la gente sobre algo que tú pues has construido. Entonces, básicamente que estás un poco solo y que tú haces las cosas y las gestionas. ¿Perdón? ¿Cómo? Y claro, exacto, muy bien, es eso.
Yo creo que es momento de finalizar, a menos de que no haya algo muy importante para añadir. Puedes decirlo.
Anything else wants to share something else, or we are going to close this session?
Tema exceptional. Finish. Well, thank you very much, everyone, and finish. Thank you very much. Thank you.